Hey there, how's it going? What is up, everybody? Irish Orangutan is back to pass along what you need to know to get better at Madden and grow your Mutt team. Enjoy the show. We are back to talk about the top 10 super budget offensive players for EA Access and beyond. These players will be able to help out your team if you are just getting started, if you are trying to open up a second account during EA Access and trying not to spend any coins whatsoever. This will definitely benefit you. These also might just be some fun players to try out until some of the upper 80s and lower 90s get out into the game. But coming in at number 10, we have Tyrod McLaren. He is someone I have been playing with and just seems to get open. He run blocks a little bit better than some other guys as well. Comes in at 6 foot, has 84 speed, and you can see that 33 run blocking and 35 impact blocking is very low. But if you go look at a Juju or DeAndre Hopkins, some of the better run blockers in the game, those are quite low as well, in the 43 range. So he's not very far behind that, and you can get this card for 1,000 coins. And when you're just getting started knocking out those solos, this will be very helpful. Coming in at number 9, we have Arlen Darkwa. He is someone that you might not think of to necessarily play with. I'll have 3 running backs on this list, all that kind of have different specialties. This would be your short yardage and run people over back. As you can see, his power is definitely up there. But as I was noticing when looking through pretty much every player that had decent trucking, they were in the 4 to 5,000 range. So with 81 speed and 73 trucking, this is about as good as you're going to get for a trucking back that is halfway a budget player. Everyone else really doesn't fit that mold and doesn't really come along with what you would necessarily need. So if you just need a couple yards and just want to try to truck someone, this is definitely the person to use it on a budget. Coming in at number 8, we have Ty Montgomery, the man who lost himself a job on one kickoff return for the Packers, then got sent to the Ravens, and now has made his way to the Jets. He is that halfback that you would use if you like to run a lot of shotgun, and pretty much everyone does. So he could be a tremendous fit for your team, especially as a third down back when you do just go into shotgun. As you can see, his speed is not the highest, but as we go a little bit lower, his catching is definitely up there, especially for a budget player. Catching for halfbacks is absolutely nerfed this year. He used to be a wide receiver, at least he was coming out of college, I believe Stanford, so that is why he has the number 88 and is definitely a tremendous player out of the backfield. Was using Bryce Love. He didn't make this list, but just really like playing with him. Kind of like the Stanford players, and also being a Redskin this year, I thought it'd be a lot of fun to play with, but he is not someone that can catch the ball out of the backfield. So I did go out and get myself a Montgomery, and he has been playing very well. Coming in at number 7, the second free agent on this list after Orleans Darkwa, we have Kelvin Benjamin coming in at 6'5", 245 pounds. He's another player that can come out and run block for you. He is not going to be one that is going to be able to run down the field and outrun anybody, coming in at 76 speed. But with that tremendous run blocking and his size at 6'5", he can catch balls on the goal line for you. So if you want to just run the ball through a lot of these solos, which might not be a terrible idea, unless there are those ones you had to pass for 200 yards and such, but those aren't the hardest, especially when you put them on easier difficulties. You can put in Kelvin Benjamin and 3 decent blocking tight ends and run out of those sets, and the defense is going to have a really hard time stopping you on those first challenges or solos. Coming in at number 6, we have Tyrod Taylor. He is 72 overall. If you want to come and try to test out some of those plays that Lamar Jackson can do, Tyrod Taylor is someone that can do an all right job of that. I really don't think that they did well enough with his passing stats. He really can get those short and mid-range passes down really well. So that's not my favorite that they don't have his accuracies in the 70s for those. But his speed is that 79, 81 acceleration, 83 agility, and he does have that throw power of a 78, so he can get the ball down the field for you as well. I definitely would advise working your way up to Baker Mayfield in the Epics and up through that Tyrod Taylor, along with one more player that made it to this list, would be a tremendous fit for that, especially if you like running the ball with your quarterback. If you're having trouble running it in solos that you need to because you pass more often than not, definitely come out in shotguns, let things develop downfield with verticals or crossing routes, and then take off with Tyrod Taylor. That's an easy way to get that accomplished also. Coming in at number 5, we have Ronald Jones the second, being only 69 overall and being out of his rookie season. He is someone that you can go out and get pretty inexpensively, and the reason that I would is because of that 84 speed and 84 acceleration. He is someone that can come out and also has the 84 agility. He's someone that can come out and just get in the open space and make moves for you and get those yardages knocked out that you really need early on in the game. Has a decent juke move at 71, so just get him out in the open field on stretches or pitches, juke with him a couple times, and you should be able to find the end zone. And coming in at number 4, we have Rico Gafford. He is a tremendous vertical threat. He is someone that you can play out on the outside and do a tremendous job of just tossing the ball to him. As you can see, his run after the catch is marked up at 90 as well. So he has the ability that is better than a lot of wide receivers to get free and open space and really make some moves and get into the end zone for you if need be, because a lot of people won't be able to keep up with him from the start anyway. So if someone does catch up to him, hopefully he'll be able to break away. And just so you know, and before I get into number 3, I do not have any offensive linemen on this list, mainly because none of them really stand out necessarily. If you can get any of them Nat or can potentially get any of those 72s from the Ultimate Trainers, I definitely would advise doing that for your offensive line. You should be able to get a Lane Johnson, and he could fit really well on your offensive line. He can also play as a guard if you already have the tackle positions filled. But really, with offensive linemen, none of them really stand out in the 74 and under range. There are some that can block up in the 70 barely, but then one of their passing stats is absolutely atrocious. David Bakhtiari is another player you could potentially get for 72 overall. So definitely keep your eye out for those players because they are ones at 72 overall that can probably fit and play through a lot of those easier and early on solos or challenges. But coming in at number 3, we have Damian Bird. He is someone that is just slightly up from Rico Gafford. And again, just put him on the outside, and he has a little bit better of agility and pretty much the same juke, spin, and elusiveness. Slightly better, but not very much at all. But he's just another one of those guys you can put on the outside. He's very inexpensive, and he can absolutely fly for your team, so he can help you knock out those solos much quicker. Coming in at number 2, we have Ryan Tannehill. He is a tremendous fit if you are trying to throw the ball down the field or just stay in the pocket a little bit more than what a Tyrod Taylor could do for your team. So I would definitely go out and get a Tannehill. He stands out from the other quarterbacks in this range because he does have the mobility at 72 speed, but also he has the accuracy stats that are better than every quarterback that is even less mobile at 74 under or around the 2K range. He has above 70 in each of the accuracy categories that you really care about, and he also has a strong enough arm at that 80. He also used to be a wide receiver in college, so he can make some players move make them move and make them miss. with some of those ball carrier vision, elusiveness, and jukes as well. And coming in at number 1, we have Joshua Perkins. And the reason for this is he can run block as well as Hunter Henry, the upper echelon tight ends in the game. So if you go out and get this Joshua Perkins, if you can find one on the market for around 700 coins, he can play as your second or third tight end for a good chunk of the beginning of the year and not necessarily even be just a very budget player. He can actually be someone that plays for your team with 75 speed that actually stands out amongst players in this range. A lot of them are in the low 70s, and he can come in and catch the ball halfway well. Him being 6'3", I wouldn't throw a lot of high points to him. A lot of quarterbacks don't have the accuracy to get that done anyway at this point, but he is someone that can run block as well as anyone else at that position. Just make sure he is lined up across from someone. Don't play him as your fullback necessarily because he does not stand out in that regard. But that is what we have for our top budget or super budget players, depending on the way you are looking at it. And I definitely know that these players will be able to help you out with EA access and getting started with your team this year in MUT. So let me know if there are any players that don't necessarily have the stats but you have played with and they do stand out for you, and let everyone else know so they can be helped out as well. But that is what we have for right now. I wish you all the best and take care. Thank you for checking into the Irish Orangutan channel. Keep coming back for more Madden knowledge. There will be consistent videos up every week, so make sure to subscribe and hit the bell button to see them all. Come by Twitch to engage and hit me up on Twitter at Irish Orangutan. Take care and much love, everybody.